Alrighty, hello my friends, how's it going? Let's see who is here. Shonies, hello. How goes it? Captain Mal, hello. Sahas, how's it going? Jur. Gonin. ¿Cómo estamos? Sloth, hello. How goes it? How you guys doing? Alright, so today should be a pretty quick and easy build, but a cool build nonetheless. We have one of these custom-made Bakeneko style boards from Functional Co. This is different from the one that I built for as a review unit for Canon keys. This one is a custom commission. It's like a one-of-one type commission that they made for a community member who is a pretty big fan of Hulk. And so they, this community member in particular, JC, they really like Hulk, the character, right? And so they actually commissioned Functional Code to do this illustrated version of the board, and from what I can gather on the Instagram post about the board, it was hand painted by Dan from Functional Co. So pretty cool. So this is actually like hand painted art, and then sealed with a clear resin to protect it, right? So pretty cool though. I'm assuming the board is similarly machined out of like, I don't know, maybe like maple, something like that. And then it integrates like kind of like like the Hulk theme colors, and then like on the illustration itself, and then the inner like plate sort of like it's like the sort of like weight slot. It seems like it's already been embedded, so it's like like adhered on there. I don't think you can remove it, but this is made out of purple heart, which is pretty cool. But super cool. Honestly, I really think if you're out there looking for like something handmade and just kind of that has a lot of personality, something like this is really cool. And Functional Co, I think, kind of like excels at stuff like this. And so I had seen some of the other like resin mixed wooden boards that they had made in the past, like over the years actually. They've been at this for a while, and there's some cool work on their Instagram, right? Like they've done like redwood slabs that have like this nice like break, and like the grain is like super textured. I think Frank Inomushiki also had this like pretty cool like burled sort of like looking board, and so just really interesting stuff out there. They've done like little insets for other keyboards, like custom boards as well, and so it's cool to see a mix of materials and whatnot. So I think I actually really like seeing like mixing media like this. But yeah, very cool. The build itself will be quite simple. The build itself, we're going to be using some Obscuras. It was kind of funny. I believe JC actually got these Obscuras from one of my giveaways before, and then he was like, I actually like the way they sound, so I'm going to use them for my like Hulk commission board. And so I was like, okay, that sounds good. So yeah, came with a card. Oop, does this focus? There we go. Came with a card from Functional Co. I'm very empathetic. That's a wonderful copy pasta. I haven't heard that one in a while, actually. Hi, Mason. Thanks for the 56. That's a good one. I actually had not heard that one in a minute. So let's see. So we have an FR4 plate for today's build, Obscuras, and it looks like a hot swap Bakeneko65 PCB. Gonna go ahead and test the PCB first. Make sure we're all good for it. I think you're supposed to read it. Okay. If any of you win and would like to make a Clockwork Cap lover's dream, feel free to contact me. I'm not going to go out of my way for boopers anymore because just as Boops has stated, the market has become ridiculous. This colorway has most definitely jumped to the top of my grail list, and if you do end up winning and don't mount it, just know that I will and can offer what little I have. I am very empathetic. Yeah, I'm extremely empathetic. I use a massive amount of sympathy to recreate that pasta, so please understand. It was a very expressive moment. Okay, let's see. Okay, detected right away. Very cool. I think I'm good with the layout. So I'm just gonna. Okay, so I'll set a few things up here. Okay, that's good enough for now. Where is? Here it is. Okay, so does this have lighting too? Should turn on, right? Wait, that's not it. Oh, there. Oh, okay, cool. It does work. No underglow, just the top, over the top. Okay, cool. Okay. Let's turn it off for now. All right. I do believe in my tenure in the community, you know, there's been a lot of good pastas. some are genuine, like I know they come out of very genuine concern, but some truly read like a shit post, and so sometimes it's hard to discern them. Oops. Easier to just put the screws on, actually, instead of trying to put the screws on there after you place the daughter board down. This one has threaded inserts into the placed, I guess, like embedded into the wood, which is nice. All right, just put that down. Okay, so I guess first things first, as it goes, we'll start with stabs. So let's put the board on the side for a sec. Put this little O-ring on the side, and let's get our stabs here. Only OGs know about Dale. I'm pretty sure that was the original pasta. I'm pretty sure was from the GAF server, I think, right? Something about loving like gold colorways or something like that. I hope this build sounds rantas if we want to bring back more old memes. Rantastic. Okay, so let's see. Layout wise, full backspace, so it's ANSI everything and standard 625 view, right? So that means 4 steps, 4 pairs, and then wires. Okay, cool. Actually, I'm just gonna dump all this out. Easier that way. And then put the remainder separately. Easier to work around that. Okay. This one out of the way too. Okay, so let's first with TX steps. I like to the OG was GAV? Oh really? I thought it was the GAV one, or was the GAV the spin-off? Oh, maybe you're right. No. It should be. It should be the GAV because Booper did not have a server until much later. Back then, pretty sure Boop didn't have a server, like a Discord server, so there was no activity about Booper raffles specifically for a long time. So I'm pretty sure it was the GAF one first. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was about like gold, well, like gold containing colorways. I remember it became a meme in that server, in the old GAF server, before it got switched to the new one because they lost like access to the account or something like that. Like before Kudos lost access to the account, something like that. It was something along those lines. So true, Rip. Time to update the Pasta Emporium. I'm actually more surprised you remember things from artisan servers. I didn't know that you follow it closely, Mason. Also, Laser Ninja. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. I was digging into Geek Hack history and found a keyboard meme thread made in 2013. Oh, yeah. Wow, that's old school memes. That's some really old school stuff. It's so old. 2013 is so old in Geek Hack history that images are gone because they were hosted on like Photo Bucket and like other hosting services that no longer exist. You know? Last Pilot's posting memes on that thread? Yeah. This is before, is it before? I think it is before Last Pilot's big build log for the Gone Nerd Crystal and the LZS, I think. Ripple my Photo Bucket forum pics? I don't, but inevitably I hear things from friends who are into artisans like Busto, Knighting in Paris, etc. Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense now. That makes a lot more sense. That's true. They were all there. Vanini are gone. Yeah. What I do sometimes if I'm looking at old Geek Hack stuff is I will use Web Archive, like Wayback Machine. Wayback Machine will have some stuff, not everything, obviously. Like there'll be stuff here and there that will be like gone for sure, but sometimes it works. But yeah, I think with the way Geek Hack also got hacked a few times. I think there was like the whatever root thing and like server issues when IMAV was hosting the server on like Geek Hack on like some kind of like server rack, and like it had like power issues or something like that. There are a few instances of Geek Hack failing and things getting wiped or things getting corrupted and stuff like that. So there's been a lot of cases of stuff lost history, and not to mention, yeah, like account deletions, even if it's like something that's still currently active, like Imgur and stuff. Like people delete their like pictures that are linked, so not much you can do when that happens. With Corsair selling off drop, will Geekhack be alright? Yeah, it seems like it'll be fine. I think the relief that we got news-wise, basically the news was that there's no news about it. From Hoffman-Meister, who works, I guess, previously got hired to work at Drop, and then now works for Corsair, and he's pretty active in the Corsair sort of like, right, like in like the Corsair like social stuff, and so he basically said, he would be the advocate for Geekhack on Corsair's hands. So he foresees there won't be any issues because he'll be pushing back if obviously there's any like adverse events. But basically, I think I don't think anything will be happening to Geekhack, at least for the time being. And I don't think I would. I mean, obviously we can be proven wrong, but I would assume that there is some interest on Corsair's side that that there exists a mechanical keyboard community after all, and I think they might be like more supportive of it, but who knows? I mean, we don't know that. We don't know how they perceive it, but hopefully, yeah, with someone on the inside, it'll be like easier to argue for it, rather. So someone to defend it at least. But yeah, I think the news is that there's no news. There's nothing really happening to it. Wait, Yugubi, do you like do you do the meme page on Instagram? Are you the one who posts on that meme mechanical keyboards page? Talking about memes, it reminded me that there's like a meme page on Instagram about keyboards stuff. Dot. Oh, that's us. He's on to you. Oh, so it is? Yo. There's pretty funny ones on there. The starter kit memes are always fun, right? The compilations. Caught in 4K. I mean, it's I enjoy the humor, so Emerade, hi, how are you? How's life? How's the kiddo? Is that your corn? Yes, it is. Had it for quite some time. Good thing Chad's going so fast, Diego will never figure out who I am. Okay. Saw a stream yesterday, but I was too busy to tune in. Fair enough. Literally start to the week, I guess. I'm off break now, Smooge. I mean, so it goes. Break? What break? Spring break? I'm not in school anymore, so I'm like, what break? Don't know anything about a break. I wish. I want a break. Eisenheim, hey, hola, all good? Sleep is still terrible, but everything else is great. One day sleep will get better. I do not wish upon anybody to lose their sleep, but you know, it truly is cyclical. Someone's losing sleep, someone's gaining sleep out there. So may you forever gain sleep. Spring break feels old, man. Yeah, kinda. I mean, yeah, I've been out of school for a bit, so yeah. And that's after many years of school, for me at least. Grad school, took a break, blah blah blah. Yeah. Have you checked out bought any Astrodomes? I haven't actually. I have not bought any. I think the main reason for me not bought them yet is because I'm pretty happy with my OEM stuff. So I don't feel a strong need to buy them. But if I were commissioned to do a Topper build, I would be happy to check them out. But yeah, I have not gotten a chance to check them out. I've heard good things though. I've heard pretty good things about Mr. Is it Blind Assassin's work? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like that you know what they're doing. It's good to see options in the community. Astrodomes, Metakeeps, Dynacap. It's good to see. There's definitely been a lot of options flourishing in the EC space. So very, very cool. Honestly, unthinkable for like, I don't know, 10-year ago standards. Like, no one really would have thought of that specifically until, like, even like, you know, like BK Redux happened through like Keyclock, right? Like that was fairly early on, I guess. But even then, like, you know, for a while there wasn't much after that. So it's good to see. Out of school for a bit, though it wasn't last year. Hey, it was a year and a half ago now, okay? Wait. Let me count the months. Yeah. A little over a year and a half ago, okay? Ish? Yeah, I think that's when I defended. No, wait. Yeah, over. I mean, I'm closing in on 2 years. I'm closing in on 2 years more quickly than I'm away from, 1.5. Jur, hello. 1 day, 8 hours. 8 hours. 8 hours. The elusive 8 hours of sleep. I think what I hate about, like, sleeping long sometimes, like, as in, like, the wanting to sleep long feeling, is when you want to sleep long, you might have the opportunity to do it because, like, the golden opportunity may have presented itself, and then you don't manage to. You actually wake up earlier because you're used to not sleeping as much. That's the worst feeling, in my opinion. I think the worst feeling is that you are not like actually that exhausted the moment you get up. Like the moment you're awake, you're not like that tired, but you quickly crash as you get up because because your body is like, well, you actually didn't rest enough. You think you're alert, but you're not. Like your body is like, it's like, no, you don't have that energy. And you just start crashing like mid morning. Happens to me quite a lot. I mean, especially like, I don't know, I've had a few days lately where I've like woken up at like 5, 4, you know, or like a few times in the middle of the night too, and then like I'll like do this like multiple short sleep cycle thing, very interrupted sleep, and then I get up at a normal time, and then I'm like crashing so early. It's a pain when it happens. It's been 2 years, time flies. Yeah, I mean, I finished in like June, July of 2024. Summer of 2024 is when I like defended, and then yeah, I spent a few months looking for jobs. So yeah, it's like, I mean, we're already like at the beginning of spring, just kind of crazy, you know. Like the fact that it's like mid-March now, it's kind of crazy to me. Felt like February was not long ago either. So I mean, it wasn't, but you know, I feel like the past month especially like flew by for me. Me IRL? Yeah, it sucks. The opportunity to sleep and then not being able to take advantage of it. Either way, it's so tiring, honestly. A lot happens to a lot of people. I think sleep deprivation is truly a problem that affects so many people out there. Definitely like almost like a societal problem, I would say, because you know we have all these devices and distractions and things that keep us awake, substance wise too. I don't know, it seems too easy to stay awake rather than sleep. All right, let's get this. Going. Oop. Okay. Obscuras? What, a 2022 Switch? Yeah, I mean, as I was saying, it's funny, but I actually gave these switches away, and the person who commissioned the build for this won. And so they're like, would it be good to use these switches? And they like listened to a few sound tests and like you know, looked at their options, and they were like, I actually like how these sound, so we went with it. But yeah. Has it really been that long since they released? It's been a minute, right? Because I think Nathan was still active when Obscuras released. Those switches will never leave you. I mean, they'll leave me when I'm done with the build, right? 2022 sounds about right. Yeah. It was around the time I stopped modding and exited the hobby. Oh. Hi, Nine. How are you? I saw you guys were chatting about the NAS setup stuff. Saw that Jay Ritchie set up his. Got it running. I think you did too, right? Kind of jealous. I should get one running too. It's too bad hard drives are so expensive. I basically almost got scammed for one on hardware swap, which is kind of crazy. So many scams out there, man. Jabronas, hey. How are you? Are they trying to scam? I mean, just typical didn't ship scam. Like, I paid using an invoice on hardware swap. You know, it was like PayPal. It was like $350 for 26 terabyte, I think 24, 26. And they just didn't ship. They just didn't ship, no contact, deleted their post, things like that. And then I just, you know, disputed on PayPal, and that was that. Pretty simple resolution. They just got banned from the servers, wherever they posted. But yeah, just a didn't ship situation. 응급처치할 줄 아세요? Why do you need that? 당신이 제 심장을 먹게 하거든요. What is that? Is that to say like stopping? 멈추게 너? 멈추게? 네, 멈추게? I guess? Yeah. Close enough. Pretty good. But also, I'm too familiar with this. Classic ones. Are you a doctor? How are you, Insty? How are you doing? Oh, speaking of heart-stopping things, I recently finished watching. I recently binged. I wouldn't say binge actually, because we kind of slowly watched it. But recently did my first watch of Yuri on Ice. the anime. It's really good. It's really good. So short. Disappointing that it was so short and there was no continuation. But it was really good. Oh my god, it's happening. Finally back home was my daughter's dance performance. Oh, cool. I hope that went well. I hope I'm not distracting you from your family duties, JC. I don't mean to, you know, take you away from your stuff. No purple pants, purple heart weight plate. Yeah. The purple heart looks really nice on the board. Snuffed on season 2? Yeah. I heard they scrapped it for, I guess, inside problems. Production issues, supposedly. But 혹시 와이파이야? 너랑 연결되고. Nice. Are you Wi-Fi? Because I want to connect with you. Oh, that sounds like a LinkedIn line, bro. I would like to connect with you on LinkedIn. Ooh. LinkedIn. Ew. Do you have any boards that you're looking forward to next, or keycap sets? I was looking forward to GMK Gorp, which I just got in. That was probably one of the sets I was really looking forward to seeing in person. Wonderful set. Boards though, I'm looking forward to just checking out that Stratum 80 that Novelkeys and Artifact Industries are doing. I guess it's technically Artifact Industries board. Novelkeys is just one of the regional vendors, but I know that Alex just checked it out. I think I didn't watch his stream, so I don't know what he thought about it, but excited to check that out just to see what it's about. Look pretty nice, like modular sort of system. Do you grab Windbreaker? Yeah, I have Windbreaker. Also nice set. That's it. Windbreaker, we knew what it looked like with DCS, so it's pretty much a perfect match with a DCS. So it's identical to it. So I definitely knew what that would be looking like. But Gorb was one of those sets that was kind of subtle, and I was like, I'm not sure if that's gonna come out well or not. It looks good on renders. It looks good. Like the concept is great, right? But I was kind of unsure how it would turn out, and it turned out great. It's a very, very nice set. I love the downfall of LinkedIn just dating for cringe professionals. Yeah. It's the LinkedIn culture thing is an interesting case study. I mean, surely a useful tool for the people who care, but yeah. I'm in for Juna and Stinga. What's Juna? What's Juna? Is that something Juna. Logolicus. Juna, 60%. Design is one of my earliest from scratch attempts, inspired by classics like the OTT 360C, but modernized. Okay. There's a lot of boards that are inspired by 360C. So there's a 60% version of it. Okay. Are there more photos? Oh, okay, I see. You guys want to look at what I'm looking at? To just put it on the screen. Let's see. 350 price. That's what they're aiming for. Target date 2025, 2026. Well, it's 2026 now, so better take that 2025 off. I see. So it has the Corsa sides. The rest is fairly standard. Yeah, so H60 style positioned daughter board. JST. Center USB. Brass weight interior, through weight. Top mount? Top mount, yeah, top mount. Top mount only, no, top mount and O-ring probably as well. But yeah. Okay, I mean, it's cute. Cute colors. Cute colors for that. Blue. Cyan, I guess. Cyan. Seafoam mint. Are these colors kind of familiar to me? But it's been a light blue and light green have been a popular color choice. I would say the past year and a half, two. Only really into Juna mint color. Claro board. I'm in for Kiwi Corn and J&D. Oh man, I wish I did keyboard related like collabs or something, but never got around to it. Never really pushed too hard for it. Sometimes I think I should have or should, but at the same time, you know, it is me basically pushing on somebody else to do it, and they don't owe it to me, so I never did. and Synthesy. Probably will just get Juno because of luck. LinkedIn feed is just spam posts, I swear. Like, I don't care for the things posted. Yeah, that's totally fair. I pretty much only use it for like whenever there's like job search, like, you know, because there's like listings up, right? So sometimes like it's convenient to see what's out there in one place, and then instead of having to like browse the career pages for different like companies, and then sometimes just to see updates for people that I care about, like just like seeing what they're up to now, or like where they're working, where they're based. That's about it. I otherwise never really looked at LinkedIn pretty much ever. I think we don't have enough OTD inspired boards or beige keycaps. We need 67 more OTDs and beige inspired keycaps. Yes, we do need 7 more. Yeah. Oh no, lightning brain rot is back. Says the guy who sends me all the reels with the brain rot too. I'm just messing. Yeah, I got my last job on LinkedIn Recruit, etc. Yeah. It's just the way it rolls for the professional world. It depends on the industry too, though. In some industries, it won't really do much, but in some places, in a lot of them, you definitely need to have it, at least the profile set up, and message people and whatnot. So, want to buy Chronically online and mint Juna. Want to buy Breaking Wind, Anatomy Blank, please. Mine Gorp comes in tomorrow. Oh yay! Gorp is a wonderful set. I can show you guys a. Let's see here. Do I have it here? Can show you a little. Shot that I took of Gorp. On the ice blue spider. Very nice set for like colors like this, lighter colors. Such a good set. I really like the novelties too. They're so cute for like the pad printed novelties. They're so cute. UV printed, pad printed. Always forget the distinction, but yeah, I think it's UV printed technically. Hey, listen, chat doesn't know about that. Mind-blowing seeing it get built. I'm glad you're excited, JC. Alright. It's a very quick build because it's very simple. It stabs, and then I'm not soldering, so switches are pretty quick. And I guess I'll just put the little stoppers for the clips so that you don't get this messed up accidentally. What's your day job, Mr. Lightning? I'm a research engineer. I basically do electrical engineering work in biotech. Yeah, I'm actually looking for opportunities at the moment. Initially, I come from a background of actually it's funny. Like I have like biomed bioengineering background, but I majored in physics and EE in college, and then I did a PhD, and so I have like bio E like background for my doctoral work, but all the work was actually a lot of the work was like I did like machine learning, deep learning, digital image processing, that kind of stuff. So a lot of coding for a while, and then I guess for my first job out of grad school, I pivoted into like a medical device. I guess not really pivot, but just kind of got into like a medical device sort of space startup. So yeah, that's what I do. So you're to blame for AI? If anything, I'm the one falling behind, actually. If you ask me about LLMs, like, I can tell you the bare bones idea of it, but I don't know how to... I'm not an AI engineer, so to speak. I'm not qualified for any of those positions because I don't have, like, the years of experience that they're asking about. Or like, the advanced math knowledge and, I don't know, Bayesian statistics and all this other stuff. So... I mean, I know a decent bit about convolutional neural networks and that kind of stuff, but like I don't know anything about like how the models now are done. I could maybe read a paper and understand the gist of it, but that's about it. It's tough. Something tokens, yeah. Diego is a product manager. IRL ships 800k units from China every year. Crazy numbers. What's your experience with bio-related coursework? Thinking of specializing towards robotics, and then I found there's a fair bit of CS involved with it. Yeah, if you're gonna do robotics, you have to learn how to code. You would be learning physics. For robotics, you have to learn physics. You have to learn mechanics. You have to learn how the robots work. You have to learn mechanisms of joints, of mechanical motion. So you have to know that. So you have to have a solid grasp on classical mechanics and dynamics. And then on top of that, for the technical side, you have to know how to code into, you have to code the things to do the things that they need to do to move, right? For robotics, whether it's automation, whether it's other things, coding is an essential. It's part of engineering, so you have to know that. Biologically speaking, I guess you would be learning, like, if you're into robotics, then you would have to learn like anatomy and physiology and things like that, just like mechanical aspects of that. So you would go into like a biomechanics subtrack. So yeah, you have to learn about some systems here and there, like musculoskeletal, that kind of stuff, and then go from there. But if you're into other things, like maybe you're into, I don't know, genetic engineering, or maybe you're into like material stuff, like graphs and that kind of stuff, then you would have to do more like material science kind of stuff. So it's a bit more chemistry, biochemistry related. Gotta learn your orgo, gotta learn your biochemistry, your orgo, gotta learn how like those interfaces react. On a more engineering side, you gotta learn how boundary conditions work. You gotta know how to solve differential equations. That's just the basic stuff. So a little bit of math. I mean, anything engineering, you'll have to learn math. That's just a given. Something crabs and claws. Yeah. Okay. So that should be plugged in. So now let's just, so for the Bakeneko, you kind of gotta stretch this bottom one first, because it has to go around this, has to go around the pillar here. And then you gotta like press on the top side so it kind of actually comes through. And then now just even press, slow and steady. Slow and steady. Maybe it's useful to get a spudger so that this doesn't get too tangled up there unevenly. And then just slowly place it into the case. And it'll press evenly, and then you can just kind of test it, see how it feels. Feels even or uneven. Feels pretty okay to me. Yeah. CNN, LSTMs, and other DL stuff sounds so dated in this era of AI. I hate it here. Yes, I know. I literally was doing convolutional neural network deep learning stuff I mean, in my case, it was for image processing. I was doing like my thesis was about image compression and reconstruction in the sub-Nyquist sampling regime. But like, it means nothing now, man. In the current era, like, it means absolutely nothing. It was cool when I was doing it, and now it's garbage. Yeah. Sounds like a lot of mechanical engineering. Yeah, I mean, if you're into any of the classical engineering fields, you just have to learn a bit of this, a bit of that. Yeah. It's essential. Engineering is a multidisciplinary thing, so you just kind of have to accept your strengths and your weaknesses. Though I was never super good with math and statistics, so I learned what I needed, but then I wasn't like honing it on like that too much. So I kind of focused on the things I was better at, like digital signal processing, digital image processing, on some ends like optics and hardware, that kind of stuff. But yeah. Doomcat, I'm struggling with that kind of coursework at the moment. Deform mechanics, dynamics. It's hard. That kind of physics can be hard, like calculus heavy stuff, and then in engineering at least there's a lot of busy work. So I get it. The problem sets can be pretty tough, and the exams especially can be kind of tough. Yeah. There's a lot of STEM people in Keeps, but I want to try to get more creative writers and humanities people into Keeps. After all, we type a lot too. I think it's doable. To get people like that interested into keyboards, you kind of, I mean, there's people in it in keyboards. I mean, after all, a lot of those creative people are like artisan makers now, or like, like there's people who do illustrations, or like, rendering, digital art, that kind of stuff, right? But I mean, they're all there. All right, so I was asking JC what he said he wanted to see on this, and we picked out GMK Terminal. So I'm gonna go get that. So GMK Terminal is dark gray and lime green. So I'll go get it. I'll be right back. The Adept, hello. I did philosophy, so I'm more from that background. Yeah, I mean, I went to like a liberal arts school, so a lot of my friends from college are like humanities and social science people, actually. STEM people I met a lot more during like my grad school years, but for undergrad it was mostly like humanities and social science people. Anyway, BRB. Okay, we're back. So here's GMK Terminal. Alright, so let's put the caps on first. Lots of philosophers jumped to the AI craze too, though. Oh, I'm not surprised. I feel like anybody whose job is to sort of synthesize a lot of streams of info or knowledge jumped on the AI craze, right? Because it makes sense. It's a tool that is good to use to synthesize all that stuff, right? Like it's good to like if you wanted to do a summary, if you wanted to connect the dots, whereas if you did it yourself, it would take so much work, whether it be reading or writing or just thinking about how to synthesize all that info. Then yeah, I think that's definitely the big reason, right? It's pretty, I mean, for me, it annoys me a little bit only in the end that like it's a useful tool, but at the same time it kind of puts you in a spot where like I think a lot of that synthesizing process doesn't, there's a lot of convergence here and there too, I think. Like kind of like you know, when people talk about like AI written or AI generated stuff, it's like it's very clear when it's AI, right? Like you can kind of tell. Obviously things have gotten better in the models that make it even more obfuscated, but yeah, the usefulness of AI is gonna come in from yeah, like more of a needle in a haystack problem. Throw ominous Chicago ominous and that thing. Thanks. Are you gonna send it to me? Are you gonna get me one? TV? Find the one Mo lost? Lost as in like physically lost? If that's the case, that sucks. Let's go with the, maybe let's go with the monochrome look. Yes, like it's gone? Damn. Whomst made this key set? This set was made by the Key Company. The folks at the Key Company made it back in the day. This is from the first round, which is a 2017 set, and then it was rerun maybe a few years later, it was rerun. There was a round 2 for it, I remember. And but I don't think it's been rerun since, yeah, the R2 back then. It's 2019 or 2020, I forget when the round 2 set was, but it was run twice, and then I don't think it's been rerun since then. And then the Key Company's not active anymore, so but I think you can still technically get in touch with them. The only thing I think would be like getting permission for someone to rerun it. I'm sure it's a rerunnable set. I mean, it's stock colors. It's just N9 gray with AE green mods. I mean, AE green legends, and then like there's a couple of like novelty like legends involved for the set. But other than that, it's a stock color set, so it should be easy to rerun. I think GMK tends to be a bit more kind of like gentleman's agreement about their about having sets rerun and kind of getting like the blessing from designers, and so as long as you kind of do get that blessing, it's usually okay. Didn't they become IFK or something? I cannot remember entirely. So IFK was, what is that? Is it Infinity? I forget what it was called. IFK, but IFK was one of the keycap manufacturers, like the keycap sets that they were making with a manufacturer partnered up. So yeah, they were like leading that line. Yeah, they're the ones to create that line of keycap set stuff. But I mean, yeah, the Key Company effectively has dissolved. There was pretty recently, maybe like a year ago, like a series of Instagram posts on the Key Company's like Instagram page that basically was like the guy, the head honcho of I forget his name. Was it Jason? Jason, I think, saying basically that he was bouncing to a different endeavor. Yeah, yeah, Infinity's right. Yeah, there we go. I want to throw a terminal with the ominous, but apparently the legends fade. Oh yeah, that's the MBKB set, right? Was it MBKB? I think that's right. Okay, so I knew that we were gonna use this set because we had talked about it. So I picked out some keycaps that I think would match it. So I was thinking of doing. So we have a few here. So something like some corners. Oh, let me bring them over to the where you can actually see them. But I was thinking maybe I'll do like accents in green, the corners, and then these I'll just put them in the row here. So maybe I'll just go ahead and do it. So actually, which one's? I think this one's slightly taller. Then Noah, and then there's this cool little key walk. This one actually is from the Jinx, from the Arcane sale, I think. And then choosing between these, I'm kind of partial for the Fugu. And actually, I'm not sure. I think this green is kind of less dark, so maybe I'll go with the brighter greens. Will the Fugu fit is the question. I think the Fugu might rub on this. What about this side? Oh, it fits on this side. Okay, cool. And maybe I'll do the Orc Explorer on this side. Kind of give it like. Here it is. Yo, this is pretty cool. Is this an acrylic stack? No, remember that time I built the wooden Bakeneko with the one from Kanekys? It's the same maker. So the same maker, they make custom boards as well. And so this is a commission board that they made, Functional Co. So the Functional Co makes these wooden boards, and they have, they change the design for different commissions and different work. So there's like a bunch featured on their page, but this is essentially a unique commission made by them. Yeah, so I think this is, I mean, it seems to me this is the same material. Like, is it maple? And then it looks like it's it's been finished, and then they did an illustration by hand. They hand painted this, and then they clear coated it on top, which is pretty cool. All right, let's check it out, shall we? You think they'll accept a commission for a pic of row of anime butts? I mean, if you ask nicely, mayhaps. Will it be featured on their page? I'm not sure. God, I can't English tonight. You can always ask. Also, how much are you paying? Is the kind of keyboard cool guy photographer Cole would create? Cole is he's great. He is. His photos are sick. He does good work. All right, let's type on this, shall we? Actually, there we go. I got you. It is possible. Confirmed by the maker themselves. All right, let's try this out. Let me set this up. So Okay. Let's give it a try, shall we? So, all right. So here it is, my friends. It is our 1 of 1 commissioned Hulk theme board with built with, it's a Bakeneko style board, which a lot of you are already familiar with. Just O-ring 65% with a blocker, and this is a custom commission with a hand painted Hulk themed illustration, and it's a wooden case, and we built this with mode Obscura switches on an FR4 plate. We don't have any foam on the inside, and we have topped it with GMK Terminal. Okay. All right, let's give it a try. So there it is. I like the resonance of the case on this, especially like from the space bar. It sounds pretty nice. Mode Obscuras are definitely, you know, they're a high pitch sort of switch. So that's just the sound as a switch kind of coming through. All right, let's go through the mods. Sounds like a Honda. Luxury keyboard crafting. All right, let's go through the mods. So there it is. Do you feel like the texture of the sound is more woody compared to plastic or metal boards? Yeah. It's kind of, it is actually kind of more similar to what a lot of the, like, you know, like when, so, you know, I've built like those stacked acrylic boards too, right? So, plastic, actually, like basically non-metal case materials have a very uniquely different sound. And I would say like, I would argue that like some of those like stacked acrylic cases and like wooden cases have like a very different kind of resonance. I guess, yeah, timbre may be the right term, but yeah, like it's they just have a very different signature to them. And so I've had a mixed bag, I would argue, like experience with boards of the kind, especially when it comes to wood. Like I remember trying like those wooden cases for like poker style, like GH60 tray mount cases, and those, like, I think a lot of it was owed to the fact that the thickness of the wood was pretty thin. Like it's just overall kind of a thin case that it wasn't like the particularly great sound. Like I feel like I heard more of the build rather than the case itself. But in examples like these where you have a pretty thick case, and you know, I can show it, right? Like you have a pretty thick case. It really lets that sound sort of develop based on, you know, the material it's sort of like, you know, bouncing and diffusing against. And so I definitely feel like, you know, based on sort of like the density of the wood and the thickness of the material, this does change a lot. But it's very distinct from metal cases for sure. As opposed to metal cases, also wood, like the wooden cases will, like at least from me trying the Bakeneko65 like last week, they definitely had a lot more absorption in sound. And so like in this case, like these Mode Obscuras are a much louder switch. They seem to be a lot more suitable to the sound of the case. But like for like full travel linears that tend to be already muted, these types of cases, I feel like they will actually dampen a good amount of that sound, and they might take away a lot of the personality from the build. So yeah, it will depend on the case, but I wonder how Cherry would sound in it. So I actually did a Cherry build last week. I did a build with Kale Creams, and it sounded a little bit muted in my opinion. And then I rebuilt that with Cherry MX Blacks. I can find you the link if you want. Here, I'll send you the link here in the chat. Just go over there. But yeah. If I didn't just buy it for Oz Hope, I would commission one of these. I mean, functional code will be around for, you know, for as long as they keep working. So I'm sure you can commission one much later in time down the line. The resin protective flood coat makes this board sound more unique too. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I do kind of wonder how it compares to like other wood choices and whatnot. So, but yeah, my experience with wood honestly is only in the realm of musical instrument stuff, and so I'm not super experienced. Like, I know a little bit about wood in the terms of like I used to play taiko, like Japanese drums, so I know the way wood interacts when you have the drumsticks, the bachi, made of different woods, how they interact with the hide on the, you know, that's stretched on the drum, and also the drum itself. You know, the drum itself has they're actually carved out of these big singular piece. I mean, a lot of the nice ones, they're singular piece trunks, and they're effectively carved from the inside very carefully by artisans, and it's a very cool work of you know, like it's very cool like craftsmanship. And then there's like barrel type drums too, and those are like, you know, put together, you know, just like in a barrel. And so yeah, I need taiko sound test one. I haven't played in a long time, but yeah, I used to play taiko back in college, and I actually I loved taiko so much when I was in college that I actually made a student group for it, and like for the collegiate taiko scene. And then I did workshops after I graduated for a while, and then I stopped playing because I just got busy with like grad school and other things. But I have friends who are still like well in the taiko sphere. But I kind of miss it, honestly. I think if I get a chance to, I would love to sort of like try doing taiko again, because it was great. It was really fun. Okay, so I guess let's show the board, shall we? Wood board sounds may have a lot of untapped potential. Yeah, I mean, yes. The bottom line is yes, wood has a lot of untapped potential. I think it's untapped for a reason though. Functional code can obviously, functional can attest to this. Dan can attest to this, but like working with wood is so difficult. Like the natural properties of wood are so difficult to work with. The fact that they are affected by so many factors, humidity and distortion, and how easy it is for them to fray from the shears and the stresses of machining, right? Like some nice, there's some nicely behaving woods, but there's so many that aren't, and so it's an untapped world for a very clear reason. It's tough. I think it would be great to see more of it, but like it truly is a work of art, and sort of just like you really do have to become an expert in all these different types of wood and whatnot, and how to deal with it. That's certainly not easy, I think. A lot of people try woodworking for a hobby and then realize how difficult it really is to work with it, right? So, and woodworking itself is different. Like doing carpentry is very different from machining something like this, right? And so, yeah. And then you get mixed materials. There's all sorts of domains, I guess, that you could explore with wooden materials, but it's tough. It's taken me years to finally figure out how to do it the right way. Yeah. If you're coming in, like, I don't know, it depends on your background too, I guess, and the network you're in and how exposed you can get to different resources, but like I can only imagine it's taken so long to get it right. Like people might look at it and be like, oh, it looks so crude and simple, but like it's actually the simpler, cleaner looking things that are really hard to get right. Like people really underestimate how like difficult it can be to get a nice clean edge on wood. It's very unlike machining with like metal, and so or plastic, or it's so different. So yeah, anyway, so a custom Bakeneko style board, kind of like a Bakeneko style integrated with sort of like a built-in wrist rest, you could say, but hand painted and illustrated wonderfully, representing the Hulk. Really awesome artwork here. Really nice. And then coated in clear resin, really cool. Very clean finish, and machined wooden case. It's wonderful. It's very subtle. I mean, you can see all the detail that went into this case. Like it's a more elongated case, so they have this base portion here where the board is, but for the rest portion, it's slightly tapered. You can kind of tell here it's slightly tapered there, and so they had to conform to that. They had to make it to this shape so that it actually rest flat on the desk. So really wonderful work here. There's our daughter board and USB port, but and then this is a multi-piece construction that has been done really nicely. Yeah, but quite nice. Yeah. Background is red spray paint, oil-based paint markers. Yeah. This one's for the books. Thank you so much. Oh, no worries. JC, of course. Happy to help you with the build. Organic things get affected by humidity? Crazy. Yeah. Actually, if, for the people who are into keycaps and they, you make artisan keycaps, right? Like... it's funny. Like you look at like stuff like this, right? Like this bongo cat. This actually is resin, like a little resin skull that's been like kind of cracked, and then it's encapsulated inside of the mold of the bongo cat one. But it's funny, but encapsulations are a really funny and tricky way to do keycaps, because you're exposing them to the elements as you're encapsulating them, and you know, and this is why like artisan makers will use like vacuums and pressured pods and whatnot to get the bubbles out, right? That like from the off gassing from the materials and whatnot. And like if you maybe like work with like organic materials, like the ones that have like flowers or like plants or like, you know, like organic material in them, those will be a lot worse because they'll start reacting with the resin too. But yeah, it's tricky stuff. It's cool. It's always cool to see like this kind of work, because it's like it's really an art form. As trivial as it may seem, it's tough work. Yeah. Flowers no look good when cooked in hot liquid. Tea. The Hello Caps guy is really talented. I mean, same a lot for these artisan makers, right? Like they've been doing this for years, trial and error. Ask most veteran makers, like keycap makers too, like ask them about their B stock and worse, like bin, like their bin of failed like casts, and almost everyone is guaranteed to have like you know, tens of kilos of failed cast caps. Yeah. So, resin tea. Stupid fruit only has A stock. True. Stupid fruit only A stock. That's true. A tier. S tier, rather. S tier. S for stupid fruit. I want to see Liam's B stock bin. I saw that bin in 2020, and it was basically up to like my waist from the floor. It was full. Like, I mean, it was like a you know, like this big box, just like deep one of those boxes that you like put, like maybe it had some, I don't know, a random big home component in it, but it was like this humongous box, and it was just full of failed stuff and test stuff and markered stuff. Yeah, it's just, but yeah, I mean, like people just have like, you know, so much trial and error to do to figure out their work. So that's why I respect, you know, like artisan makers and people who make stuff, because it's, I know that there's a lot of effort that they go through to make cool things to put out there. Now that's one way to do a blind back sale, just like, yeah, just dip your hand and whoop. But I mean, you know, I think on principle it's good that, you know, makers also don't sell you know, B grade or worse quality stuff as much, because you know, there's unfortunately disingenuous people out there. You might give away a B stock keycap with clock gears and other parts from a watch movement, and the guy who wins it might be trying to sell it for hundreds of dollars, even though they got it for free. So yeah, there's a lot of disingenuous people out there. or people who will tell you like, oh, I was A stock. Look, it's just small defect. It was just the way it came. No idea what you're talking about. Anyway, yeah, it's just one of those things. People are truly hard to trust sometimes. Anyway, I'll show this one last time here, just to kind of show. Whoopsie. Here it is, our Hulk themed board. Very cool. And I guess that would never happen. The hobby attracts the best kinds of people, truly upstanding, well-adjusted, positively contributing members of society. Surely. Yeah. 30 exit scams later. That dink is a feature, not a flaw. Yeah. I mean, you technically sign an agreement that if things are flawed and you receive them, they're like handmade products, so it's like acceptable. I mean, obviously there's different standards, but yeah. Okay, so I think it's time for me to wrap things up here. But I did want to let people know that I will be doing the Artifact Industries Stratum 80 TKL build on Thursday evening, most likely. I would say maybe late afternoon, but I think it's gonna be evening, just around the same time as today's. So that will happen then. I haven't chosen what switches actually to use for that. So if you have suggestions for switches, maybe let me know. Maybe I'll do a poll in my Discord. If you're in the Discord, then you can maybe answer to the poll too. But yeah, I'll figure it out. And then maybe I'll take a look at Alex's stream, see what he used. Actually, I don't know what he did, but yeah. My guess is he might have used some long poles, because he often does. But sometimes he actually uses MX Blacks and Cats, so I'll have to take a look. Okay, let's see who is streaming. Oh, Patty is doing Slay the Spire 2, a very addicting game, I heard. So maybe let's go raid Patty. She's back from Taiwan. So welcome her back, and let's show some support. Have fun over there, and thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here. I shall see you on Thursday, and then probably on Saturday too. Okay, friends, have a great night. Thank you again. Bye-bye.